Welcome back to episode 2 of Sophie Sketches. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us last week for our exciting discovery. This week we're back in the field and we're kind of exploring a bit of a woodland favourite. Many of you may already know the name of this plant, but I wonder how many of us know the facts and mythology that come with it. This week you find me in the beautiful evening light in the field, squeezing in one last task before the day is out. The midges were just starting to come out, but I managed to push through and capture the plant for this week's investigation. Thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to share the findings with you. The midges are coming out. Better paint quickly. Welcome back to Morrab Library. This week was really fun. We were drawing this flower, which, if I confess, I already know the name of. It is, of course, a foxglove, but the reason I wanted to draw it is A, it's obviously a really beautiful plant, and B, whilst I know it's a foxglove and I am of the understanding that it's a poisonous plant, there is nothing else that I know about this plant, so I'm hoping that through drawing it and through researching it I can discover something new about it that I didn't know before. So hopefully that will be the case. Let's find out. So I found a book called Folklore of the British Isles, and this book has no photos but it has a description of foxgloves, so I want to share that. But first of all, the book is written by A.R. Clapham and T.G. Dutton and E.F. Warburg, and they're each of a different university, and the book was published in 1952, so that's nice. So first of all, the Latin name for foxglove is D. purpurea, foxglove. It's got a sweet map of the county. And, it's really just a list of plants. There's nothing really more. This book appears to have a more interesting description. So we've got the only British species is this specific digitalis purpurea, a stately plant with large wrinkled, somewhat downy leaves, and a tall stem bearing a long raceme of numerous purple bell-shaped flowers which droop after expansion. Okay, well that's just a description. On the inside of the flowers are beautifully spotted, and occasionally an elegant white variety is found. The name foxglove. Okay, here we go. We're getting a bit of folklore now. The name foxglove is a corruption of folk's glove, that is, fairies' gloves. The powdered leaf, though poisonous in large doses, is a valuable medicine in cases where it is desired to lower the pulse, common in dry, hilly places and in woods, but never on limestone. Flowers June-July, biennial. Wow, that's fascinating. Okay, so this book, which, as I said earlier, is Flowers of the Field by Reverend C.A. Johns, has given a much more interesting description there. I love that idea that its name was originally fairies' gloves. I mean, it's completely fairies' gloves, isn't it? I think I've heard something about that before, kind of like people putting them on their fingers. And I think the thing that's really interesting to me is that it's the leaf that's poisonous, not the flowers. I think I always assumed it was the flowers that were poisonous. So the powdered leaf, though poisonous in large doses, is a valuable medicine in cases where it's desired to lower the pulse, which is what the other book said as well. Matters of the heart. Fascinating. It's like so interesting to discover that a flower can be both poisonous but also helpful, and that it's just the poisonous part that like came through in the history of what I learned about it. I had no idea it had anything to do with like medicine for the heart. I wonder if they still use that to this day. It's quite possible. I might try and find out more facts. I do want to check the Englishman's Flora as well, because I haven't had any success in this yet with previous plants, but I'm sure it will have the foxglove in it. Digitalis purpurea. Let's have a look. Wow. Okay, so I love this. So this book fascinating. But we've got a nice description here, so I'll read this to you. Foxglove means the glove of the fox, and not the glove of anything else or anybody else. Nevertheless, the foxglove was a fairy's plant, or a goblin's plant in England, judging by its name, as well as Wales and Ireland. The belief must have arisen from the tallness of the foxglove, the glove shape of the corolla, and the poison of the leaves. An Irish woman told Lady Gregory that she knew someone who was cutting the lusmore, when a fairy voice called out, "Don't cut that if you're not paid," i.e., if you are cutting it for yourself, or you'll be sorry. And that's fascinating. You can only cut it for other people. As usual, this plant of the fairies was powerful, in their hands against you, or in your hands against them, provided you took the risk of gathering it. Fairies are supposed to have given the corollas of their power, corollas, I don't know that word. Fairies are supposed to have given the corollas of their powerful plant to the fox. Wearing these foxgloves, the fox could then sneak in magic silence up to the poultry or away from men. Welsh people used bunches of foxglove to make black crosses on the floor stones with the juice. Obviously, apotropaic crosses to keep fairies away. Such a plant of magic and supernatural names needed its Christian names, and so became Gant de Notre Dame and Doige de la Vierge, Lady's Glove, Lady's Finger, Virgin's Fingers, etc. It needed also a name for the botanist or apothecary. Therefore, digitalis, from the German finger and thimble names. But there was still no classical warrant for employing the foxglove. In the countryside, physicians found it was used a good deal as a purge and a vomit in fevers and against colds. The foxglove story is not one of unrivaled magic and medicine, where English poets compared the young girl's cheeks to the conventional roses. Welsh medieval poets and prose writers likened them to the foxgloves of their upland country. All when in Mabinogion, her two breasts were more white than the breast of a swan, her cheeks were more red than the foxglove. Well, that's certainly a lot to be thinking about.
I hope you enjoyed this week's video. I sure did. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to the channel. You just need to press the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoyed it. I'd also love to hear your feedback on the videos so far. Maybe they're a bit too slow for you, or maybe you enjoy the relaxing nature of it. Maybe you have some ideas. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Alright, thanks very much. Bye.